Philadelphia, how did you find yourself at Brown University?
I just applied. I got in early. So there's a thing where you can get in early if you commit to one school. I liked it. They had this open curriculum, so you had more flexibility in what you could do, really. And they also had, it was just like sufficiently weird for me, And it was good. It was good. I did really well in high school, and then when I got to university, I was average. I was getting average grades. So that was a very shocking thing, right?
Yeah.
But I still did well. I graduated with honors and did, the thesis. There was a professor though that really changed my life, Professor Middleman. Professor Middleman. And he had a video he started the class off with a video where he was in Vietnam. You can imagine, just like it's in Kenya, of an intersection where the cars and the bikes and all the people, they're mixing together, and it looks like complete chaos, but it works.
Yeah. So kind of like the scene of Kenya where you have motorcycles coming in, people.
Yeah. Most crazy, intersection you can imagine, right? And that's what it was. That's how I started the class. And that one really changed my perspective on what things could work, because I was used to people stopping at stoplights and that kind of thing, right? As much as I traveled around the world, to some extent, that's not really what I was used to, or didn't think about the business opportunities in such an environment. And he was a project developer in Manhattan, so he built skyscrapers.
Whoa!
So he would build 50-story skyscrapers, and he would teach at university as maybe giving back or something like that. He was making way more money in business.
Yeah.
But you don't get the opportunity very often. Professors very rarely are successful in business because they would be making more money in business, so they don't want to be professors.
Yeah.
So it's a very cool
Or
class.
you find someone who's been through academia the entire life, so did a degree, did a PhD, and then became a professor.
Right.
So they don't really have the other side.
Yes. So it's called a clinical professor, or clinical professor. So you can imagine a clinician as a doctor, they're operating on people. He was operating in the business world and then brought that learning back to
the university.
And the way he was so strict about things. Like he'd say, what's your 5-year plan? You'd write it out and he's like, this is not good enough. Not that it wasn't ambitious enough. It's like, you have not thought about this well enough. And I never had someone hold me to that high a standard about something that could be considered fluffy, like a fluffy topic, right? It's not very concrete. Like math is right or wrong.
Yeah.
A 5-year plan is not right or wrong.
It's not right or wrong.
But there is a level of rigor that you can apply to it. And he's like, you're just not thinking hard enough about this. I'm disappointed in you, Kyle. And you don't want to be disappointed. Like, you don't care about your grade. You just don't want to be disappoint this guy, right?
Exactly, Maze. I think what's the name of this professor? The physics dude who, he's acknowledged as one of the greatest teachers of the century. But I think Professor Middleton will give him a run for his money.
Exactly. Yeah, he was an absolutely amazing professor. Everyone really loved him. And sadly, he passed away in a bicycle accident.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's unclear if he went through the red light or someone else did, and he got hit who was bicycling and then died. So, so it was sad.
Yeah,
but actually, it's because of him that I came here, because I had this idea for this biogas business, which I developed in his class. And I don't think I've said this on a podcast before, but we pitched this idea, and there's a bunch of different people pitching, and other people were like, we're going to do this, and the judges asked me, so have you been to Kenya before? I'm like, no. And they're like, how much money do you need to really make this thing work? And I'm like, $1 million. And they're like,
off the top of your head, $1 million.
$1 million. I knew. I'd done run the math. It was about $1 million.
Oh, you had done the math.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they're like, well, this pitch competition is for $5,000. So it's not going to work. So we lose. Yeah. I was shocked. I was like, how could we lose? It was such a good idea. I was so arrogant and oblivious about how business worked.
Which is kind of like how everyone starts. Like no one starts with that knowledge of knowing, okay, this is how things work.
Yeah. Exactly. So we didn't get that. And then my mom sends me an email a few days later. She's like, Kyle, you need to start thinking about how you're going to finance your life and how you can get health insurance. Moms are really keen on the health insurance part. Like, you got to get the health. And I was just like, Mom, geez, give me a break here. We're going to figure. So this other person messages me, says, hey, someone wants to give you a grant of $5,000 to try this idea out.
Crazy.
Some anonymous person.
How does that happen? Is this the universe like attracting you?
Exactly.
How do you explain such a thing?
Exactly. How do you explain such a thing? So I was like, okay, well, let's do it. I don't know who this person is, but that's great that maybe someone in the audience, who knows?
Yeah.
And, pursued this whole thing. And that's how I ended up getting here. And it turns out that person...
Wait. Before we get to that, I want us to go back to Professor Middleton.
Yeah.
His class.
Yeah.
And like, how did you said you grew up in order. So knowing, okay, this is how people stop at stoplights. People do this. But then you're seeing Vietnam and chaos. So did that inspire anything in you to like kind of like start or like come and solve for, these places need order?
It's not that it needs order. I think it makes you design in a different way to realize that order is not really... If it was completely ordered, I don't think everyone would be able to get through the intersection. So there's just different ways that things work in different places, and trying to force an American way of doing things in 2025 on Kenya in 2025 doesn't make sense. They're just countries on different paths. And so you have to think about what's locally relevant solution for Kenya or Vietnam or whatever
Vietnam,
it is.
or for wherever you are. So this idea of now when you go to Rome, do what Romans do.
Something like that. Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's
so it's an old idea, I suppose, right? But these things, when they hit you, you're like, whoa, right? It just blows your mind. You tell everyone about it. Like, I saw this crazy video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, okay, let's get back now to your grant. So you've some anonymous person has called you. He wants to give you 5,000 to go and try out this biogas idea.
Yes.
What are you feeling at that time? How old are you?
Yeah, I was 22.
22.
I mean, I was super stoked. I was excited to do that because my other option was to do research and to get a PhD. That was my other plan. And I wasn't that excited about it. And actually, I met this guy. He was in Nigeria online, and he had a human waste business. And so what they do is they take human waste from latrines and dump it in the ocean. And so they're like, oh, maybe there's like a biogas solution there, right? So the idea was to go to Nigeria, which never worked out. But I was trying to decide in my mind, should I get a PhD and study biofuel, or should I go to Nigeria? And it was like, okay, if I get a PhD, I know what I'll be doing for the next 5 years of my life. Like, I've done the research before, as you said in the intro. If I go to Nigeria, I have no idea what I'll be doing in 5 days. So when you phrase it like that, you're like, oh, the iteration cycle is way faster. If in 5 days it turns out I don't like this, I can go get back and get a PhD, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's something interesting for all entrepreneurs, anyone doing anything, like how can you get feedback faster?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, time is your most valuable asset that you can never buy back.
True. So having that low consequence mindset of not thinking, hey, if I go to Nigeria, or if I get lost, or if what happens, but just thinking of, oh, I have 5 days, see if I like it. If I don't like it, I can just come back.
Exactly.
So it's like having like
it's a two-way door, right? So you can undo. It's a decision you can undo.
But I do think majority of our listeners, I've been guilty of this myself, is you have a mindset where you're like, hey, if this does not work, it's kind of like the end of the world for me. Like there's that fixed mindset.
It's weird. I'm not sure if it's a personality type or it happens maybe to everyone, but sometimes you're just so low and it's like a hole you can't get out of.
Yeah.
And it feels like, you made some mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, I don't have a particular. I guess we'll get to it maybe later. In the show.
But that's interesting. So having this idea of like low consequence of like, I'll just try it out, and then this idea of if I fail, like it's the end of the world.
I mean, the thing at the end of the world to me is if I live a life of insignificance, at least I should have pushed as much as I could. You feel like.
Yeah.
You don't want to be I don't want to be on my deathbed being like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many things in life that, just try it.